What's up guys, it's another episode of New Projects with Jim Tay, and today I want to talk about Penrose. It's a super popular project that just launched about more than a month ago at the eastern part of Singapore, close to Aljunied MRT station. You know what? The performance on its first day of launch was so good, beyond my wildest expectations. It sold more than 60% of its total units for sale. Wow! I mean, I expected it to sell well, but in my personal thoughts, I thought that it would probably sell maybe 30, 40%, 50% if it's a very exceptional day, as after all, it's still different in the market we are in today, where projects that are good, projects that sell well, typically do about 30% of sales in the day of the launch. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect it to cross 60%. I remember I was so surprised when I saw the sales chart that day. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the 5 reasons on why I think Penrose managed to achieve such good sales on its launch. Before I dive right in, just want to let you know that if you're a buyer watching this and you missed out on Penrose launch, didn't get the unit you want, maybe because it was sold out by the time you reached your queue number, or your queue number was so far behind you didn't bother to wait, I have 2 units that I want to share with you. Very quickly, the first is a 2-bedroom unit at Sims Urban Oasis. It faces the pool. And the second unit is a freehold unit, a 1-bedroom plus study at Katong Regency, one of the best and only mixed development near to Paya Lebar MRT station. These 2 projects, they are about $1 million. Sims Urban Oasis slightly less than $1 million, and Katong Regency slightly more than $1.1 million. The links to these 2 properties in the description below. Without further ado, let's dive right into the 5 reasons of why Penrose was such a best-selling project. The first reason, you may not be super aware of it because you've been listening so much about the oversupply in the market over the last 2 years. However, did you know that in District 14, where Penrose is located, as well as most of the eastern regions of Singapore, there truly isn't that many projects for buyers to choose from? To be specific, I'm looking at condominiums which are of the same mold as Penrose, meaning I'm excluding those boutique projects with less than 100 units, only looking at those with decent facilities for families and more towards the lifestyle element of living. Let's look towards the street directory to count the number of projects in the east. Besides for Penrose, there's another that's very popular, Park Esta. If you go further east, you have Grandeur Park. Then at Tampines, you have Treasure at Tampines. If you expand it a little bit even to the downtown line towards the eastern part of Singapore, you have Urban Treasures, Antares, and let's include Tapestry as well. Add all these projects up together, including Penrose, and you arrive at a figure of 7 projects. What about the west side of Singapore then? In the west, if we look from closer to the city towards the west, you have at Redhill, Atra, which just achieved its TOP this year. You have Sterling Residences still for sale. Queen's Peak also TOP this year. You have Margaret View just sold out. Towards further west, towards Clementi, West Coast area, you have Park Clematis, Twin View, Whistler Grand. That's already 7 projects on the east-west line itself, and I haven't even counted the other 6 at the Beauty World vicinity and the 3 soon to be launched in the west, the Link, Key Residences, and Clevon at Clementi Avenue 1. That's a total of 16 projects in the west, can you imagine? Okay, maybe 15 if I don't include the Link as a similar comparison. That's still more than double the number of projects in the east. How about the northeastern region of Singapore then? You have the integrated project, the Woodleigh Residences, right beside it, Park Colonial, the Trevor, you have the Gazania around Serangoon Gardens, you have the Garden Residences, Affinity at Serangoon, you have Forest Woods, further away you have the Florence Residences, Riverfront Residences, Sengkang Grand Residences, another integrated project, Park Botania, and even including the ECs, Ola and Piermont Grand. That's a total of 13 projects in the northeast, almost double the 7 in the eastern part of Singapore. Now you can see the difference in supply in the eastern part of Singapore, where buyers only have 7 different newer projects to choose from. The second reason is Penrose's attractive price. I want to go a step further though. It's not just the attractive price, but more the price and the location ratio. Let's take a comparison of that, of the price to location ratio for Penrose versus some other comparable city fringe projects. First, we look at towards the west, Stirling Residences. Stirling Residences at Queenstown. If you notice, Queenstown to the key CBD area of Singapore, let's take reference from Raffles Place, is 5 MRT stations. On the other hand, Penrose and Aljunied to Raffles Place is also 5 MRT stations. So that, in terms of the travelling time on the train, should be relatively similar. However, if you look at each property, Stirling Residences is selling at an average PSF of $1,955 vis-a-vis Penrose that's only selling at an average PSF of $1,586. That is more than a 20% premium to pay for Stirling Residences, given a similar travelling time towards Raffles Place. Now, if you go towards the northeast and maybe you say Stirling Residences is closer to Queenstown MRT station, another good comparison is the Trevor, which is a walking distance away to Potong Pasir MRT station. You'll see from each property that the Trevor is also selling at an average per square feet of 1,634 per square feet, which is also higher than Penrose. Well, putting it in perspective, you can see that the pricing at Penrose is not just attractive, it's also relatively attractive compared to other projects around the city fringe. The third reason is that buyers at Penrose have seen that owners of the most comparable project, Sims Urban Oasis, had made money from their initial purchase within that project. It's very clear that we can see from each property, once again, that the price trend for Sims Urban Oasis has been upwards since its launch in day one. When you look a bit deeper as well into the profitable transactions, you'll see that there are 50 profitable transactions with the profit for certain units going up to more than 250,000 even. And number of unprofitable transactions? 0. Buyers of Penrose have taken this as a good example of the amount of profits they can stand to potentially gain in this investment, and hence they hope that by entering at launch, history has a chance to repeat itself in future and they can make similar profits as Sims Urban Oasis. The fourth reason is the pent-up demand following circuit breaker. This doesn't need much explanation from myself. I just want to share with you the articles that the newspaper has been reporting after circuit breaker was lifted. You'll see that sales figures have been very strong and the market does not seem to be tanking despite a poor economy and probably the worst recession we have ever seen. Fueled by the low interest rates as well, units are flying off the shelf and the market is quite buoyant, especially the segment of the market that targets HDB upgraders. For Penrose and its developer, Leong, I would say right product, right pricing, right timing. And the fifth reason is the hype and the buzz created by the developer appointed sales agents. It's something that as an agent myself, I want to give credit to the agents for making Penrose such a successful launch. That's because I have seen the agents hard at work, and some of them, they even start marketing the project 3 to even up to 6 months before the project is even launched. Hats off and really respect to the agents, because there's all this talk in the market about prop tech, about how much investment is going to prop tech, about all these ways that would make us agents obsolete in future. The way I see it, that future is still a long way to go. Developers and sellers still need us to represent them, to help them to push the sales of the properties, whereas buyers still need trusted advisors like us to advise them on the purchase process. Housing is, after all, one of the most expensive purchases you can make in your life. Thank you for watching. That's the 5 reasons on why I think that Penrose sold so well. My name is Jim Tay and I hope you enjoyed this video. I've only spoken about the good points of Penrose. Do me a favor, leave me in the comments one negative point on the property. Make sure you hit the like button as well. Subscribe if you've not done so. Watch my next video and I'll see you next time.